DR, DA, traffic, trust cost. What metrics should you be looking at when you're building links? In this video, I'm going to show you the exact system of how I build links safely. Hey, what's up bros and sis, Jaden here. In this video, I'm going to show you how I qualify for backlinks for all my SEO projects for the last 3 years safely. And if you stick to the end, I'm going to throw in a little nice bonus for you. So this is the link qualification system template that I use, and I've been using this consistently for the past few years to help me vet for links. And this ensures that we are not only building links, but we are building links safely. So there's a few setups along the way. I'm going to walk you through step by step. I'm even going to go through a live demo of how I qualify a website for a link. So the first things first is when we go over to the settings tab, we want to set two criteria here. The first one is traffic. The second one is DR and DA. So depending on what tools you're using, domain rating on domain authority, they kind of mean the same thing. You just want to select, depending on your tool of choice, it could be DR or DA. That's up to you. So traffic wise, you want to set a minimum traffic you should be receiving. So I wouldn't recommend going anything below 500. A good benchmark, usually what I like to do is I like to have it as 1000. So this means to say the website that I want a link from, they minimally need to have a benchmark of 1000 organic traffic coming to their website. So that's first. Second one is in terms of DR and DA, you really want to set something that is above what your current project or above your website right now. So for example, if your website it's at a DR of 10, then you want to set it to somewhere more than 10. For example, 15 to 20 is acceptable, 30 is fine. But if you push towards like way higher, then it's going to be more difficult for you to secure links, because generally websites that have higher domain rating, they're going to cost you firstly a lot more, and it's also more difficult to achieve. So let's say, for example, the website that I'm working on, the current website, it's let's say 20 DR. I want to set it maybe to 30 DR. So that is the minimum criteria that I want the potential links to have. A minimum of 1000 and minimum DR or DA of 30. And then we go to this beautiful system here, the link qualification system. So I already have some inputs here, but I will walk through with you step by step on how I use this to help me go through this link vetting process. So the first one is the status here. The status here, there's always a pass, fail, and maybe. So this is kind of like the decision point of whether do we pass this, do we fail this, or is it a maybe, right? So that is really the status column. So the first thing that you want to include here is the website. So under the root domain section here, you want to include in the website without HTTPS, without www, and you just want to make sure that the website is just the root domain. And the reason why is because using this template, it allows us to flag out any potential duplicates that we have. So for example, if now I already vet through this technologycounter.com, and if I include it in the future here, you can see it's flags out as red, right? So you just want to include in the root domain for this filtering to happen. This is again the root domain of the website, right? And most of the time you're going to know the cost of the website as well. So depending on what's the price, you want to list down the price here. And the reason why you want to list down the price here is because you need to, at the end of the day, make a decision to see whether of all the factors that we look at, is this worth the price that you're going to pay for, right? And you can't measure that without having a cost in place. And for the source section is really where you're getting this website from. So some of the times you may be getting links from vendors. Some of the times you may be getting links from outreaching, and they revert back to you with a price for the link, right? Depending on where you are. This is just so that you can manage your entire links better in a sense. So next up is link type. So under link type, there's different types of link types. So the most common ones we see nowadays are guest posting and editorial, which means link edits. They are kind of the same thing, where they're just editing a link within an existing post, whereas a guest post is just a purely new post that they're going to be publishing on their website. So depending on what type of link it is, you just want to select it as guest post editorial. And what you want to do is, if you want to include in any kind of types of links that you may be creating, like Haro, and other types of links, you can always go in here just by clicking on the pencil icon, and then you can add another item, let's say Haro, right? And then click on done. And then you can just apply to all. This will apply to all the drop downs, or you just apply to this instance. And you can see that there's a new version of Haro here, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to remain as is. Now, this is where we start the qualification process. So once you've gotten all the initial parts down, this is where things get a little interesting. So first up, DR and DA. What you will need is you will need some kind of SEO tool, whether if it's SEMrush, Ahrefs, or other tools out there. We basically need some data for all these websites, right? So the first thing that we want to do is we want to look at their DR and DA, and you'll notice that this is red in color. And what we want to do is we basically want to plug this website, okay, and just take a look at what is their DR, right? So in this case, you can see the DR is 48. So we're just going to insert in as 48. Now, it's going to be highlighted as greens. And what this means is this is above the criteria that you have set earlier on, right? So the DR minimum I should be looking at is 30. This is a 48, which means it's a good to go. So the next thing that we want to look out for is website relevancy. I've listed down 3 tiers here: high, medium, and low. High, this means that the website is really relevant to your project or your website. So for example, if you are working on a dental business, a dentistry website, then anything to do with in the dental space or dentistry is going to be super relevant. Now, medium wise, you have to go up a category. So this means to say something in the realm of the health space. So it's not directly related to dentistry, but it's still related to health in the health space. And something that is low, it's nothing to do with the health industry, nothing to do with dentistry, just entirely off topic. And you want to do this because relevancy plays a very important role when it comes to search engine optimization, because you want to make sure that everything that you are trying to accomplish has some kind of relevancy to your project that you're working on. So in this case, let's say, for example, the website that I'm working on is a dentist website. So what you do for this is you just basically go over to the website, okay, and you just take a look at what the website is about. Okay, and you can see in this case, this seems to be like a technology software space. So this, I would classify it as low. And you can see whenever you make some changes on the template itself, you will notice they are either being flagged out as green or red. And what is going to be really interesting is at the end of all this, you're going to see a color of either greens or reds, and you just want to make your decision based off on all the greens and reds in the link qualification system. So the next thing here is the look and feel natural column. And what this means is you just want to make sure that the website feels and look natural. Right? And I cannot give you a specific matrix here because you just have to go into the website and basically have a look and feel to see if this website does it feel, does it look and feel natural to you? Okay, if it's yes, just mark it as yes. If it's no, just mark it as no. Now I'm going to go over here and I'm just going to take a look. This seems like a pretty natural based website. Nothing suspicious going around here. Seems like a software review site. Yeah, they're just comparing prices, features, and reviews for all the different softwares. I think, yeah, this is not too shady. And there will be some websites that you will see that is looking pretty sus. So again, this section here, I'm just going to put yes. So in the next column here is the Moz spam score. So I've marked this as optional here, so you can choose to include this or not, but I included in here because it's always good for you to have more factors to look at for you to decide whether if a link is link worthy or not. And Moz spam score, it's a good indication to whether a website is spammy or not, depending on their algorithm. You have 10 free queries for you to use, and you just include in the domain here and click on analyze. It's going to show you a ton of metrics, but what we want to focus on is the spam score here. So just click on spam score and you can see this is the spam score that we are looking for. So in this case, it's a 1%. So all you have to do, go back to the system here and type in 1. Now the benchmark that I've set here, it's anything that is more than 10% is going to be too spammy for us, and it's going to be marked as red. So for example, if it's 11 and above, it's going to be marked as a red. And if it's 10 and below, it's going to be marked as a 1. Okay, so with the whole Moz spam score matrix, you just want to make sure that the spam score is as low as possible. The next section here is the organic traffic section. So here we just want to go back to your SEO tool and take a look at how much traffic they are getting. So in this case, it's 5,003. I'm just going to list down here as 5,003. And again, this is marked as green because it is higher than the bare minimum that I've set earlier on. The next section here is more than 2 years old. This means how long has a website been active, and ideally, I want it to be more than 2 years old. Because if a website has been around for a couple of years, it means to say that they are more legit in some way because they are not a brand new site. They have just started and they have been around on the internet space for quite a while. And I like my websites to be aged than compared to a brand new website. So what you can do is you just go over to here and you just want to see whether in Ahrefs you can filter out by 2 years and you can see whether do they have any organic traffic for the last 2 years. Right? And you can see in this case there is, right? And I'm going to mark it as a yes. Okay. And I know that they are not just setting up a website to, sell links and do stuff like that. So that's why I have this matrix here. The next thing here is the traffic trend. Now, traffic trend is really interesting because there's a few traffic trends that you should be watching out for because this will show you the behavior of the website throughout the course of its existence. So what to watch out for? These are the 3 things that you should be watching out for. The first one is a sudden dive. The second one is a sudden hike. And the third one is a seesaw. And ultimately, what we are trying to look out for is whether if things are natural or if things are unnatural in a sense. So I'm going to show you some examples here. And if you go over to this section here, you can see there's kind of like a little seesaw going on here where there's sudden heights and then dives and hike and dives, right? But this is still all right because the discrepancy here across the last few years, it seems like it's still getting a little bit of traffic and it's still maintaining that kind of traffic. It's not to a point where it's hiking and then diving down to 0 traffic or 100 to 200 traffic, right? Because at its lowest point of the dive, it still has around 2,800 traffic, right? So in this case, this is okay by me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to filter this as medium because it still has some kind of weird trending going on. All right, so this is the next example that I want to show you. So early on, like I mentioned, this website is not more than 2 years old because you can see there isn't a lot of activity when in the 2 years range. Like it doesn't get any traction until a year ago where it starts to get more traffic. And you can see like there's a certain hype towards it. Right, so usually for these cases, you really want to pay attention because there could be some issues with the site where they are just publishing a lot of content to bump up their website traffic. And here is an example of a sudden dive. So again, you always want to filter it out by 2 years. Now, I've set 2 years as my minimum. You can set it to 3 years, you can set it to a year, you can set it to 6 months, that's up to you. I've set it to 2 years and you can see here, this is what I mean by a sudden dive. Right, so the website is losing traffic along the way, and generally for sites that are losing traffic, I'm a little bit more hesitant because it could mean that the website is being penalized. It could mean that the website is going through some revamp. But anything that is downtrending a lot, I would classify it as a low here. So again, here there is bad, medium, and good. And the explanation here is anytime you see there's a sudden dive or a sudden hike, you always want to mark it as either bad or medium. And good essentially means that the website is looking very natural. So what is a good website trend? A good website trend is something that looks really natural. And what I'm looking for here is consistency. Whether are they consistently building up their organic traffic, whether have their organic traffic grown by a little bit, but I want to see consistency in their organic traffic. This shows me that the website is more consistent and more legit. There's no foul play. There is no intentional publishing of a ton of content there. And what the keyword here where we're looking for is consistency, right? So where they're kind of like gaining traffic, if this example here, if this chart were to end somewhere here on February 2023, from the beginning of October 2021 to here, this looks like a consistent chart to me, and this is what I would classify it as good. So again, you just want to mark it as you see these, and watch out for these abnormal trends. So the next section here is the traffic location, and this means the traffic location of the website that you are doing the qualification for. So if your market is in the Singapore space, for example, or US or UK, depending on where you are targeting your audience, then the most relevant are going to be traffic that is from your target market, right? So in this case, you can see, imagine my target market is Singapore. If the website I'm doing qualification for has high traffic coming from Singapore, then that's going to be marked as a high. Anything in the medium range will be in big demographics like US, UK, or neighboring countries such as like Malaysia, and anything that is really far away from our target demographics, for example, India, Pakistan, Russia. As long as the country is getting further and further away from your market, and they're generally not in the main big markets like UK, US, then it's going to be classified as a low. And so when you look at your traffic by location, you can take a look here, and you can see majority of these traffic, they are coming from India, 90.4%. And what you want to do is you just want to mark down the majority of the traffic. So in this case, the market I'm going after is Singapore. For example, it's really, really far away from my target market. I'm going to mark it as a low. The next thing that we want to take a look at is organic traffic relevance. And what we want to see is whether does the website that we are doing the qualification for, do they have any kind of relevant traffic going to their website? Because as much as we would like to, we want things to be as relevant as much as possible. So there are 3 tiers here, low, medium, and high. So for high, you are looking for highly relevant keywords. Again, using the dentistry example, if you are working in a dentist market, any keywords related to dentist, dentistry, teeth cleaning, teeth polishing, and stuff like that, they're going to be marked as high. Anything to do with medium will be somewhere in the same category of health, but not necessarily the exact keywords like dentistry or dental clinic. But anything to do with health will be marked as medium. And any low or spammy matrix, which means to say if you see keywords that are not relevant to your market and your business at all, or you see some suspicious spammy keywords, which later on I'll show you in a bit, then you want to mark it as low or spammy. So in this case, for this website, back over to your SEO tool, what you want to do is you want to click on keywords. This will show you all the keywords that this website is ranking for. And you can see over here some of the keywords they are showing here. I have no idea what this is. Seems like a CRM because it says CRM login, a little bit sus. And yeah, a bunch of keywords that I have no idea what this is. So you don't just want to look at the organic traffic of a website, and the reason why is because some websites, they are checking up their organic traffic with keywords, with ranking for keywords like this. And you do not want to pay for something or invest into something that it's made up matrix, right? So in this case, you can see the website has around 4,800 traffic, but the keywords are a little bit sussy. So in this case, what I'm going to do, I'm going to mark it as low. Okay. The next metric that we want to look at is authoritative backlinks. We want to see if a website has authoritative backlinks linking to their site. And how you do that is really simple. Go over to your SEO tool and click on backlinks. And what I want to do is I want to filter it out by the DR. But there's a few caveats here. And we are looking for links or the type of links that is natural in a sense, because not all links are created equal, and some of the time you're going to see, even though the links are highly authoritative, it's not natural in a sense. So what do I mean? So for example, Adobe is obviously a big website, and you can see they have a link to their LMS software. So in this case, these are the type of links that I like to see because this is almost like it's natural, right? It's in the form of blog post and it seems natural in a way. So this is still all right. Okay, now I want to find something that is a little bit more sussy. So they have a link from blogger.com, DR95, which is really highly authoritative. But when you take a look at the site, you can see this is the site here and this is the link here, right? So in this case, I wouldn't classify this as a authoritative backlink because this is made up in a sense, right? So you really want to make sure that you are going through and just double checking to see if the authoritative links they are having, do they look legit? Do they look natural? Right? And in this case, this seems like, let me see here. This seems like it's a forum type link. So that's still all right. But I would say like just from the first link here, this is all right by me because adobe.com, it's a highly authoritative website and they have a link here within one of their blog posts, if you will. And so I would still give this a yes. Okay. And again, this depends on your own preference. If you see the backlink profile here and you don't think that this qualifies within your requirements, you can always mark it as a no, right? So this is just how I do it. And yeah, depends on your preference. So the next thing that we're going to look at is spammy anchor text. We want to figure out if a website has natural anchor text. How you do that is going back to your SEO tool, head over to the anchor section. You're going to see the whole anchor text profile of their website. And if you think about something that is natural, usually they have either their brands first, websites will be mentioning about their brand, or it will be a generic anchor text, meaning it's their URL of their homepage, for example, right? So that's what we are looking out for here. So you can see the majority, 4.3%, it's Technology Counter, which is their brand. So majority of them is still brand related. So it's somewhat natural. HR Software, 3.6%. So this is a keyword anchor text. This is okay because it's a URL anchor text, so this is fine. But overall, I'm seeing that there's a lot of keywords here, right? But it's still not the majority of their website. However, if you see another profile that is flipped around, meaning to say most of their anchor texts are best HR software in India, this, for example, is contributing to most or majority of their anchor text profile, then this will be deemed as spammy anchor text, right? So in this case, because they still have their brand name as the majority of the anchor text, I'm just going to put this as no. The next metric that we're going to be looking at is spammy outgoing links. We want to figure out if a website is linking out to any suspicious or any websites that we don't want to associate with. And that's what we want to figure out. So over to your SEO tool, head over to the outgoing links and click on the link domain section. And you want to filter out by their DR. And you just want to check to see if the websites they are linking out to, do they link out to any suspicious websites? And generally, I look at a few things. So once you have clicked on the link domains, you want to look through this list and see if there are any gambling sites, any adult sites that are listed here. And if you see any, what you can do is you can flag it out as yes. And if you don't see any, you can flag it out as no. One easy way that I do it is simply going over to here and I can type in, for example, casino and search for the results. And this will show me whether does this website link out to any casino links, any casino branded links. It seems pretty clean. So I'm going to mark it as no. The last thing that I like to do is I like to take a look at their outgoing anchor text to see whether if there's any spammy anchor text or anything that is unnatural. And how I do it, it's over onto the outgoing link section, click on anchors, and you can see the majority of the anchor text here. So you can see artificial intelligence consists of most of it, empty anchor text, technical SEO. So it seems like a mixture of anchor text, even though some of them are kind of keyword related, like technical SEO or artificial intelligence, but it's not too far apart, 1.8%, 1.2%, 0.8%. They are all evenly spread, right? So in a different scenario, if you see, for example, a PR agency keyword that is contributing to, let's say, 30% or majority of their anchor text profile, then you want to mark that as spammy, because in a natural world, when a website is linking out to another website, they won't have the exact match anchor text in there unless it's intentional. So in this case, it seems pretty natural to me because all of them seems to be very evenly spread. So I'm going to mark this as no, and there you have it. So after you've looked through all these metrics, you're going to be left with either a bunch of reds or a bunch of greens, and you want to use this data to help you make an accurate decision on whether you should be investing this money into building a link from this website. So these numbers here are made up. These are just for examples for illustration purposes. But looking at the cost for this website, it costs $300. It's an editorial link, which means it's not a page that I have by myself. It's going to be a link on an existing post they already have. And looking at some of the metrics here, it's not very high in relevancy. It does have good DR. Spam score is good, organic traffic is good, but the traffic location and traffic relevance is not that high. For $300 for an editorial link, I'm going to mark it as a fail, okay? Which means to say I will not be building a link from here. So after marking that as fail, you want to go through this entire list. This will help you decide whether if a link is worthy of your investments. Now, you have to do some kind of analysis here. There will be some metrics that you will change depending on your requirements. Your individual requirements will be different from mine. But I hope this will help you make an accurate decision on whether you should be purchasing a link from a website or not. So early on, I mentioned there's a bonus tip I have for you. So if you are going into the website here and going through the backlinks link domain, the outgoing link domains, and you're searching for a casino, it's gonna take a few steps for you to reach here. And you can do that with a simple click of a button, and it's called the bookmarklet. So for example, if this is the website that I want to find if they are linking out to any casino links, all I have to do is click on the bookmarklet here and I can check casino links over here. And this will automatically brings me to my Ahrefs software and show me whether does this site has any casino links. So we went from a few clicks to just one simple click to help us filter for casino link domains. And this is just an easy way for you to vet through your links quicker. So how you can do this bookmarklet is actually pretty simple. You don't have to know any coding at all. So here's how you add the bookmarklet. Head over to your bookmark section, right click and click on the add page section here. Okay, so in this case, I'm just going to go over here because I already have mine. And you can name this to whatever names you want, but I like to use this as check casino links. And what you want to do is you just want to paste this entire URL into your bookmark section here. I'm going to leave this down below in the comment section. So you just have to copy and paste it in here. And then once you click on save, you're going to be able to access this check casino links. Now you do need an active Ahrefs subscription. This is only applicable for Ahrefs. If you want to find out how you can create bookmarklet for different type of pages, if you're interested, let me know. I may create a video on that. Let me know in the comment section down below. Alright, I know you guys want the checklist. All you have to do is just go over to my website, fill in your name, address, contact number. Nah, I'm just kidding. You can get the checklist for free. It's down in the comment section. All you have to do is just make a copy. You don't have to give me anything. Just use it, try it out, try the system out. And if you feel that it's helpful, please feel free to share it with a friend. And that's about it. If you like this video and want to see how I work on live SEO projects, you're gonna love the next video. Thanks for watching this video, bros and sis. And remember, chase progress, not perfection.